Good evening. We're Group 5, and today we're going to do a brief presentation about the consolidated financial statements and industry-specific disclosures about a little conglomerate known as News Corp. If you don't know what News Corp is a conglomerate, global media conglomerate that owns various segments, such as direct TV, direct satellite, as I mentioned, television, such as Fox Entertainment, film entertainment, such as 20th Century Fox, publishing known as the Debunk News of the World and the New York Post, and various other segments. Today, we're going to talk briefly about, like I said, a little bit about the consolidated financial statements, as well as sort of a little bit of similarities and differences within the presentation of the financial statements. And Bree will be talking about the management discussion and analysis, as well as the other segments that make News Corp different than make News Corp one of the third largest conglomerates in the world. Like I said, mainly News Corp segments deal with film entertainment and broadcasting. And if you look in terms of their consolidated financial statements, in terms of the presentation, you can see that the presentation does look similar to any other non-entertainment industry. Just the top of my head, we'll choose Coca-Cola as an example. If you look at Coca-Cola's inventory account and News Corp's other inventory for other divisions, you can clearly see that they have particular similarities in terms of using lower cost or market method, as well as a first in, first out weighted average method. But as we looked further on, our group were able to look in terms of industry-specific accounts. For example, the participation, residuals, and royalties, which are recognized under ASC 926, based on the ratio of gross revenue over total revenue, based of course on estimations. Further, in terms of program rights, we looked at program rights are recorded at gross amount when the licensing period has begun, the cost is determinable, and the program is accepted and available. Now I'm going to be passing down to Bree, who will talk about MD&A as well as the other segments.
Thank you. So News Corp's MD&A discusses and provides industry-specific disclosures, as well as talks about their 6 different segments, which I will get into after this. So one thing I noticed that was a little different for this industry was that it talked a lot about their estimates and amortization process. Their estimates are always revised, and so that changes their amortization rates and their write-downs for the revenue. So the revenue recognition process is also different. It's in accordance with ASC 926. That basically just states how their theatrical revenues are recognized, which is when the film is exhibited, and their home entertainment and TV distribution is recognized when they're available. So News Corp has 6 different segments, and 3 of them follow the ASC 920 guidelines for broadcasting, which is their cable network programming, their television, and their direct broadcast satellite television segments. So I was looking at things that stuck out to me that were a little different, and when they discussed a lot about their revenue, and that it's generated from their advertisements and subscriptions, and they're recognized when aired. And they're also based on license agreements, which vary from contract to contract. So industry-specific disclosures that were mentioned are their programs and stations agreements, as well as it discussed a lot about their primetime lineup and their target demographic. And then commitments was something I noticed a lot in this industry and in their financial statements, which is a contractual arrangement for a future payment. And those were mainly their sports programming rights and their entertainment programming rights. And then the last thing I noticed was their inventories. And like Rod mentioned earlier, they look very similar to other industries and other 10Ks, especially when you're looking at the balance sheet. It just has inventories. But when you look at their notes and what's specifically included in inventories, and for the broadcasting segment, it's mainly programming rights, which are then capitalized and amortized. So that concludes our project or our presentation. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it.